Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to episode 18 of Mystical Myths. Yeah, 18. I got it right this time. I really hope so because what the heck, y'all let me film all those videos and say the wrong thing. Why y'all let me do that? Yeah, I'm side-eyeing you. But anyways, this is going to be the start of the mini series. I love a series within a series, so if you can tell, of Mythtober, inspired by Jake Parker's Inktober. Now you're probably like, how is it even inspired by his Inktober if I'm not physically drawing anything? It's not a daily challenge. It's not necessarily spooky related, like October spooky themes. It's related because, the play off the name October, Inktober, Mythtober, and also he did that as his personal drawing challenge. This is my personal drawing challenge for myself, creating a storybook, an illustrated storybook. This is something I have never done before, but something I've always wanted to do. So here we are. We're doing it. And with the intention of improving my skills and, flexing that imaginary brain muscle. Imaginary brain muscle? Imagination muscle, which is in the brain. Let's get into the art. Alright guys, getting right on into it. We're starting off with a sketch. Oh my god, can you believe it? Who is this? Who is she? She's doing a sketch. So I wanted to get my ideas down. So I started off with adding in a little bit of the words that I'm going to be using. This isn't the exact text that I ended up using, but I wanted to kind of just put my idea on the page so I could get started. So I've got a granny sitting down and she's doing some storytelling in front of a fireplace, and then there's a close-up of the clock that's sitting on the fireplace for the second page. So if you notice here, I'm only drawing on half of the canvas. I will be doing that throughout this whole thing because it's essentially like a book. So in my mind, a book, it's just like a big page with a split down the middle, for real. And just imagine if this was folded, it would be the left side of the book and the right side of the book. So I'm going to be starting and focusing on the left-hand side first, and then we'll move on to the right side, which was really simple and easy. I did some movie magic, some Procreate magic with that. You're going to have to, watch and see. But the story is starting off with a cozy environment, but essentially once we get into the story, this is just kind of like setting the scene, if you will. This is just the premise of how the story is beginning, the background, that this is a grandmama telling this story to her audience, which are her grandchildren. So I first just started off drawing the room. That the angle of the room was kicking my butt when it came to this. What is this called? Blinds. These are blinds. Yeah, it was. And this right here should have told me maybe I should change the angle. I didn't. I just went with it. That's okay. I decided to put a nice little picture right there. And here I was trying to figure out how to draw a chair. I did take a picture of myself reading a book in the corner. Looking back on this looks crazy. But this was my thought process. I did end up realizing that since the angle of my room and this room were different, that the angle of this chair was not going to be right for this environment that I created. So I did eventually end up erasing this part pretty much and getting rid of it. But I thought it was good practice to kind of help me get into the mindset of drawing a chair, like what a chair looked like a rocking chair. And this is me doing the children's body sketch. Like, I'm like, okay, one kid's gonna have their feet crossed, like crisscross, and the other one is just gonna have them sticking out, chilling. So the way that I decided to draw the bodies is something that I do tend to do, which is drawing big blobs and then filling in the shapes as I go along. That is something that I like to do. I don't know what that's called, like if that's a style of art. If you know, let me know. I'm curious. But I was drawing this kid, and they look scary from the side right now. I did eventually cover up all of that face pretty much, because it was kind of scaring me. I was trying to get it together, but it was not doing what I needed it to do. And when that happens, let's just cover it up and do something different, You don't have to let your art stuff get you down. If it's not working for you, try something else out, do it again. This is our challenge for October. Well, my challenge. I would love to know how you're challenging yourself this October creatively. I feel like this is the time where creators push themselves to create something different, something new, and also to create consistently, like with the Inktober challenges and all the whatever Tober people are creating. I feel like the main theme behind them is that you're creating, you're being consistent, and you're challenging yourself. So let me know what you're doing this October. Are you participating in Inktober? Are you doing a Mythtober? Are you creating a cute little story? Are you doing a Youtober? Are you being consistent with yourself, your fitness, your eating habits? Let me know what you're doing for yourself this month. This is, the last 3 months of this year. We've got October, November, and December. So, now is a great time to look back over your goals and your wishes and your desires and your dreams. See where you're at. See how far you've come. Express a little gratitude. And see where you need to improve, what you need to push yourself, where you want to go, like see the gap between where you are and where you want to be, and close that gap as best as you can, or at least take the steps every day to move that needle. Okay? Random tangent, but not really random, because this is what this is all about. It's all about pushing yourself and being creative. So not completely random, but a tangent nonetheless. Okay, let me focus back in on the art at hand. What am I doing here? Okay, at this point, I decided to cover that face, that scary face I was drawing. Another reason why I wasn't going too in depth with the faces is because although I did, you'll see later, Granny does get a face. For the most part, I want to try to do like a Spider-Man type of thing, where it's like, Spider-Man wears a full body suit and mask. So the story behind Spider-Man is that like anybody can be Spider-Man, you don't know who's under that mask. It can be anybody. Like you can self-insert yourself into his story, and relate it to yourself. So I kind of want to do something similar-ish. My character will not be wearing a full body suit. They will be a individual, a person that we're talking about in this story. But as far as like, focusing in on like what they actually look like, I'm going to attempt to remember to stay away from that. I feel like that sounds negative. Just kind of keep that in mind, that the point is that anyone that is reading the story can insert themselves into this character's position. This character that you don't know anything about yet, this character that's not in this episode, the character that you have to come back next episode to see. But I'm just letting you know now that this character is meant to have a relatable kind of story that I think most people could, relate to. That's what relatable means. Hello. But yeah, so I do intend on making this story almost like universally applicable, because we all go through similar things in life. Well, it's not something you necessarily have to go through, but maybe at different stages in your life you might go through this thing that I'm not telling you, because why would I spoil it? I'm not. You're welcome. Come back on Tuesday to find out more. But we still have plenty of drawing left now. So I'm just making sure Granny looks like she's wearing her pajamas. She's wearing a little heart set. That's so cutie, with the little matching bottoms. They've got little hearts on the trim, She's cute. She's fab. Where do you think these other kids got their pajamas from? Granny here, obviously. Look at her. Look at them. Cuties. Together. So here I decided to put a picture within the picture. And this is a picture that I drew on Mystical Myths a couple of weeks ago. So if you like that pic and you want to see how I drew it, it's all about autumn and fall and like abundance and the autumn harvest. Check that out. And you see here, we're already onto the left-hand side. This is what I meant by I used some Procreate magic. I just copy and pasted the fireplace and clock and zoomed in on it. And I created this. So it's like a zoomed in version. So on the second page, we're zooming into the clock because the story is like about 11:11, but kind of not. It's about 11:10, the minute before 11:11. And as you see here, the words I decided to put on the screen are: Grandma gathered her grandchildren close and said, everyone knows the phrase 11:11, make a wish, but there's another story one very few remember. The story of 11:10. Let us begin. Let me know if that sounded good or if it sounded bad. I am not an author. An author? Like the aardvark? Anyways, oh my god. I'm not an author, but I'm trying my best because I want this picture story to look good, and sound good. So let me know your feedback on the words. All right, friends, here is the first 2 pages of the story. Done, complete, finished, with words on it. It's a story. It's the beginning of the story. And I would love if down below in the comments you could maybe guess where this story is going. What do you think I'm talking about here? What do you think the meaning behind the myth, the story is gonna be? I'll give you a little hint. There's several. It's a lot of things woven together into one. Guess them down below. Let me know what you think, because also, we still have time to change things. So if your idea is better than mine, I'll incorporate it. I'm not afraid to go back and redraw something, do something over again. Let me know your ideas down below. But I already have something cooking up here. I have a plan. I promise I do. This is going somewhere. I'm not fully winging it. I'm like half winging it, half wing. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know down below also if you loved this one or if you hated it. Let a sister know. I'm curious. But I hope you guys come back on Tuesday for the second iteration. Okay? Bye. Oh, I've been doing this for a few months now, and I still forget to tell you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. But here's me telling you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.